Do you feel that young people coming up today have um, a bigger challenge in making the the Lord Jesus the Lord of their life because they have so many other distractions that um, uh, compete for their attention, their desires. When we were growing up, uh, we didn't have the opposition uh, as much as kids have today. Um, as far as the church in general was a bigger part of society years ago than it is today, and now we have young people that don't know the Lord, and they don't know, uh, what do you mean make Jesus the Lord of my life? Where do you start with a young person that because I think I'd stand a better chance talking to someone my own age about Christ than a younger person. I'm like you. I can't speak for the younger generation because I'm an old fart, but I I love what I'm hearing about Awana. It's it's a wonderful thing. My only question, because I don't know anything about Awana, is are they involving discipleship in the sense that they're teaching kids how, I'll call it how to win souls? My assumption is it would. It does. But at certain ages, kids are timid. They're not ready to strut out on their own. And I'm not like anybody else. My wife and I are totally different. I'm like a bull in a china shop. If I see something that I think needs to be fixed, I go fix it. If I see somebody needs to be told something, it doesn't bother me to, like in the church, doesn't bother me to go up to the uh, worship leader and tell him that his music's too loud, that it's inappropriate worship music. It's great. I don't mind listening to contemporary music, but if it has about 11 verses of the same word or the same issue, then to me that's not worship. And if it's and I told him this, I said, I finally went to him because he wasn't listening to me. I said, "Oh, I found the comparison of our church music to a sports event." And he said, "What's that?" And I said, "A hockey game." I went to a hockey game in Toronto with the where the Dallas uh, Stars played, and it was 85 decibels. I said, "Our music is 85 decibels." I said, I can't imagine God being honored by music that loud." He said, "So what's your recommendation?" I said, "Lower the volume so you can hear the congregation sing. If you can hear the congregation sing, that's fine." I said, "I can tolerate repetitive music." But I said, "I'm an old rock and roll guy." I said, "Our music did repeat itself at times, but not like this. It seems to me that the writers just don't seem to know how to write music anymore." But that's my opinion. and the kids need to know how to share their faith.